Hello friends, welcome back. Number 11, no changes after contract signature. What is the purpose and value of a contract if it's flexible? Negotiations can be flexible, but the time for flexibility ends upon the signing of the contract. If it's not contained in the four corners of the contract, it doesn't exist. Contracts are created to hold people accountable and to outline each party's responsibilities, timing and consequences, and what happens if you breach the contract. Both sides become more and more vulnerable as the closing date approaches. The seller has packed all their belongings and has made a commitment for their new housing. Buyers have done the same and will be homeless if the sale doesn't close. These vulnerabilities give dishonest people the opportunity to use the increased leverage to get something that they are not entitled to in the contract. Hey, we thought the patio furniture came with the house, and if we don't get it, we're not closing, etc. A contract has a beginning and an end. If you start adding things or taking them away after signature, it can make it voidable, and then someone is left unprotected. Number 12, inspections during the inspection period only. Look, buyers get 10 days of free reign in the house. That's a long time, provided the buyer's agent is responsible and makes sure his client has an inspector ready and good referrals for any contractors that would need to evaluate the house. If so, an actual home inspection can be completed in 2 days with a report on the second day. 90% of them get completed in 1 day. If it's a huge and complicated property that requires a more detailed and sophisticated inspection, the buyer can ask for more time in the contract, and most sellers should be reasonable in granting it. Once that period is over, it's unfair to ask the seller to allow more inspections, which aren't usually inspections, but interior designers or remodeling contractors giving quotes. You don't need to subject your property or yourself or your children or your pets to that. Plus, it will only create more problems. The contractor who's trying to secure a remodeling contract with the excited buyer often finds items of concern to present to the buyer, trying to be their white knight. I've never had one of them find good news and remove an item from the inspection report. Your mechanic rarely tells you about the well-functioning items in your engine. All of a sudden, you have a nervous buyer on your hands, and that could spell the end of your deal. Okay, number 13, the one I told you about that sounds like a blessing, but ends up being a curse. No waiving the final walkthrough. On the few occasions that this has happened, buyers have told us that they weren't going to be in town or were too busy for the final walkthrough. My sellers were very happy to hear that, until I told them that it would be a huge mistake. The final walkthrough is the final sign-off. It's the agreement that you've kept the house in good shape, or at least the shape that it was in when they agreed to buy it. I understand that there are circumstances where a buyer can't make it for whatever reason. Maybe they live out of town. And if that happens, they need to get a surrogate, someone that they give the authority to take their place and to sign off. Their realtor is a great place to start. If they were good and caring and an engaged agent who stayed with the property throughout the entire process, they should be as familiar with the house as the buyer is. Add to that their knowledge and real estate experience, and they could be the perfect fit. If the agent doesn't want to do it for liability reasons, which should show you how important this step is, the buyers should have a family member or best friend step up to the plate. Either way, a valid sign-off needs to be completed that day. If they skip it and find a scratch anywhere on move-in day, guess who they'll blame? Exactly. This one sounds a little obvious, but only use reputable title companies. Look, your house isn't sold until properly recorded at the county assessor's office. Your bank will not fund your loan until the proper documentation is prepared. The money, the down payment, and the purchase funds have to be collected, safely held until closing, and then properly distributed. Liens have to be addressed and clear title has to be given to the buyer, and the debt properly satisfied for the seller, i.e., paying off the existing mortgage. This is not the time to try out your cousin's side hustle title company. Use a pro with a track record. Number 15, no side furniture deals. I realize that most of us have harbored a burning passion to be retail furniture salesmen. The glamour, the power, the sexiness of being able to get leather sectionals at a discount. But I ask that you squelch your lust for lazy boy and focus your passion on selling your house, not your ottoman. It's a highly emotional time. Both sides are making big life changes and commitments, and things can spin out of control quickly and loudly. Say you agree in week 1 of your transaction that you are going to part with your custom patio furniture that you paid thousands for. Paid 12 grand for it, but they only offered you 6 grand and you took it grudgingly. Now, 2 weeks later, which is 1 week before closing, your son drops off his giant rescue Great Dane Clyde for the weekend. He and his lovely girlfriend are going to Vegas, and you and your wife have agreed to dog sit. While you are both gone out to dinner, Clyde gets anxious and rips the hell out of the patio furniture. Now what? Are you going to go out and replace it? Are you going to repair it? Put out more money for a deal that you weren't happy with in the first place? Look, if you have some pieces that you've outlived or won't have room for and the buyer is showing an interest, keep it outside of the deal and the contract. Make it something you complete after closing. Keep your word and follow through, but don't make it something that can kill your deal. Number 16, this goes back to the beginning when your potential new buyers are looking at the house for the first time. Make sure they have a proof of funds or a pre-approval only. No showings, no conversations without them. A pre-approval form or a proof of funds for a cash deal must accompany an offer to purchase. Simple as that. It's the first thing I ask a buyer client for, even before we see the first house. No responsible agent would present an offer to purchase without one or the other. If your first interaction with them is one where they leave out a critical form on purpose, how is the rest of your deal going to go? Not well. I can tell you that from experience. If they can't prove that they can buy the house, you can't prove you should take them seriously. Simple as that. Number 17, offers contingent on the sale of another property. Translation, we'll buy yours once we sell ours, which may be never. Full disclosure, we've accepted contracts that were contingent on the sale of another property, but it was under strong qualifying circumstances. First of all, I knew the other property, its value and its condition. I knew the other agent and her ability to sell. The contingency was for a very limited time. The buyers were incredibly qualified, and their offer, this was the biggie, was full price. It worked out well. The other house sold and closed within 30 days, and everything went smoothly. We also put a condition in there that if we had received another offer that we wanted to take, the contingent offer had the first right of refusal, meaning either they make their contingent offer non-contingent and they move forward with the sale, whether their house sells or not, or they step into second position and the new buyers get a chance to buy it. Otherwise, there is no real benefit to the seller in that you can just tell the contingent buyer, hey, get your house under contract first and then come back with your offer. Accepting their contingent offer only benefits them by giving them the security of knowing they have a property to go to when theirs sells. But what does it do for the seller? Not much. Number 18, no to hesitant buyers. We had an amazing listing in Scottsdale. On one of the showings, this couple showed a lot of interest and enthusiasm. They came back and saw the house 4 times. The last 2 times, they brought their friends. In fact, on the 4th showing, they acted like they had already bought the house. They brought a bottle of champagne and drank it by the pool with their friends. It being a Saturday and knowing they were going to be there for several hours, I scheduled an open house for the same day. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone, right? While half of these people were parked in the kitchen and the other half out drinking champagne by the pool, I noticed a young couple with their little toddler quietly step in the front door. They waved a shy hello and apologized for disturbing our other showing and asked if they could take a quick look at the house. I told them of course and went back to eavesdropping on my new client residence, which is what they felt like on multi-hour visit number 4. I didn't even see the young couple leave. Who do you think bought the house? Visit number 4 or the young couple? The young couple wrote a full price offer that evening and followed through. The 4-timers slowly just disappeared. No one needs to see your property 4 times for 4 hours at a time. I should have told their agent we were done after the 2nd showing, and they certainly didn't need to host a cocktail party to help them decide. Some people don't value anyone's time but their own. I've learned to spot them and avoid them. They are not closers, they are vampires. Number 19. Don't negotiate against yourself. This dovetails with rule number 7. First of all, never verbally participate in the negotiations between your listing agent and the buyer's agent. Experienced agents are trained negotiators, and unless you're one as well, you'll be at a disadvantage. You'll give away things without knowing you're doing it. You need to be prepared to already know what you will and won't accept before your agent begins negotiations. Know your bottom number, even if it's a little bit fluid. Work out a strategy with your agent and stick to it. Now, of course, you'll have to be somewhat flexible because deals do evolve, the market evolves, home prices can rise or fall. You may find out you need an expensive repair that you didn't figure into your previously bottom number. When you make a counteroffer, let it sit with the buyer for a while. Don't get anxious if they take until the last minute to respond. Remember the golden rule: the one who needs it less wins, which can be stretched to the one who appears to need it less wins. Number 20, and perhaps the most important, protect your peace. Selling your home is a lot of work and a lot of pressure for you, for your whole family, and for your pets. And if you think your pets can't feel the change in the environment and the pressure, you're dead wrong. Your kids are pressured to keep their room clean and orderly for the showings. Don't leave your shoes in the middle of the house. You get a little angrier at Sparky for leaving bone saliva on the rug. You get mad at your husband for doing the same thing. With all this going on, you need to minimize stress wherever you can. At the end of the day, your sanity matters too. Don't agree to showings at 11 p.m. Don't agree to potential buyers bringing their dog or their 3 dogs over to see the house. Yes, that's happened, and it's happened more than once. Don't agree to a friends and family showing of 10 people, and just don't agree to a circus to please your buyers. While it's your home, it's your rules. So there you have it. 20 things you should never agree to when selling your home. Look, selling doesn't have to be a nightmare. If you've got the right boundaries, the right agent, and the right strategy, you'll sell for the right price without losing your mind. If you found this list helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who's thinking of selling. And if you're ready to sell in Phoenix, Scottsdale, Chandler, Gilbert, the whole Phoenix metro area, give me a call. I'll make sure you don't say yes to the wrong things. This is Charlie with HomeSmart. Thank you for watching. Before you click away, let me share this with you. I've been helping people buy and sell homes across the entire Phoenix metro area for more than 16 years. And as you can see from my 18 Phoenix Metro City vlog tours, I've gone in depth from Scottsdale to Chandler, Glendale to Gilbert, and everywhere in between. That means when you're ready to make a move, you're not just getting someone who knows the contracts, you're getting someone who knows the neighborhoods, the schools, the lifestyle, and the little details that make the difference between just buying a house and finding the right home. So if you've been thinking about buying, selling, or even if you just have questions about what's really happening in today's market, reach out to me. You can call, text, or email me anytime. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss my next video on the Phoenix real estate market. I'm Charles Fratantoni with HomeSmart, and I'd love to put my 16 years of experience to work for you.